Whoa, making a video. Yeah, probably shouldn't bother, but kind of a crappy ton of rain here. So I'm gonna see if I can get across the stream. What the hell? Probably can't, but go for the walk anyway. So I figure I'll talk some more on nihilism, this perception that what's happening here with us, as sentient creatures, alive, conscious. So we're not only just replicating matter, doing this mechanical process, where we move and do things like that, like all the little buglets and minor things, the single cell kind of stuff that makes up most of life on Earth, all the little bacteriums. Then there's these more complex organisms that have more elaborate toolkits, fancier membranes protecting the gonads. This is this is a problem. Are you gonna fall more? Boy, this is a terrible kind of, this thing falls on you. Ooh, nasty. You get stabbed to death. Anyway, I guess I'll have to do something about that. There's so many things here. Pointy. Yeah, trying to kill me. Anyway, so yeah, more complex membrane to be punctured to attack the mechanism of the reproduction, right? But it's a complex toolkit we got, and one of the tools is this intelligent brain. This brain that can do all this processing of the environment, and through its evolution from like the trilobite, and the fishes, we've gained this capacity to, with these neurons to do this sensate thing, this have a feeling, and then the brain reacts to the feeling. So it's like a multi-brain system. A first reaction, which is motivational, and then a second reaction that assesses the motivations. And I've explained before how this would be advantageous, because you could have two different things you want: food and safety. And for the organism in the wild, that's always a difficult equation. Having food will jeopardize your safety. You have to get out of your tree and go find it. And there's a balance there that would be really subtle and important for the brain to get right. So our brain created a mechanism where it creates balancing desires. So it weights them. And it was this creation of weight that created this idea of value. Because we had to wait till we got hungry enough to overcome fear of doom and horror and becoming food. So your desire to feed had to become stronger than your aversion to becoming food for something else, that kind of a thing. But that's really I'm just saying, as an explanation, it's simplistic, but it gets to the job done in terms of explaining why we're conscious, why it would be an advantage to creating in creating a motivational mechanism that could be intensified or decommissioned depending on circumstances. So it wouldn't be mechanical in the strictest sense. It's still mechanical, obviously, but it's outside of just knee-jerk mechanical. It allows time to be entered into the equation, and allows urgency to be entered into the equation. And in doing so, it created this idea of sentient comfort, feeling good versus feeling not good, and this idea of motivation and the intensity of these motivations. And that's why we're conscious. So if you accept that as a good enough explanation of the biology, let's just figure this is what it is. This is reality, okay? There's no conspiracy by aliens. We're not matrixing, we're not all this other crap. It's just the idea of complex chemical compounds, that have this reproductive feature, which allows them to do this copying feature, which allows them to evolve new tools and progress through time in the general direction of survival. Nothing else. Just in the idea of it can get more complicated. It doesn't have to, but it can. And with that complexity comes these features. So this consciousness thing, here we are experiencing it. And yet I have to somehow argue with other people experiencing it what the experience is. And it's clearly a value experience. It's clearly the sensations are in and of themselves of a quality. You don't mistake them. Okay? Head ache versus head not ache. The difference is obvious. I don't need somebody to explain it to me. One is bad. One is not a good way to be. Not a not a good is a good enough way to say it, but to put in that idea of it's a negative condition. It's the lesser condition. It's a degrade in condition. It manifests as that. It's not confusable. There's no doubt about it. It says it all over itself, kind of thing. Oh, it looks like the cement has washed away. I suppose I can just walk across in the water. I suppose I can. Yeah. What the hell? It's only wet water. Wet won't hurt me. There's a little rapidy. Oh, see, that's almost crossable. If I don't get washed off, of course. But yeah, I'll have to get wet feet. But that is a big jump there, though. Don't really like that much. So one block is gone. So here we go. Be fun. Maybe. I forgot to roll up the pant legs. Fall down these, I'll be rolling up pants. Yeah, that middle one's really gone. Yeah. Maybe I'm better off walking through it. Alright, what should I do? See, this is the calculation part. Yeah, now to do that jump successfully, not so much. Yeah, there's the block there. And now my feet are already wet anyway, so I'm probably safer just cutting a path through here and then trying to jump and miss and such. So yeah, see, so far so good, and no snakes. And so yeah, I made it okay. Yeah, so not so bad. So anyway, so yeah, the hardware brain did its job. It measured a circumstance, used its personal experience, its knowledge base, its understanding of physics and dynamics and possibilities and probabilities, and came up with a plan, and it worked this time. So it was a good plan. I feel good. I don't feel wet or damaged or hurt. So I'm rewarded by not being worse off for the experience. So it goes in there into my brain as a, that worked that time. Anyway, so here we have this mechanism that's so loudly talking to us in terms of these motivational feelings, these I need something, the sense of deprivation. Say if I don't ingest nicotine in a regular basis, my body will say something to my brain, and my brain will say, just get some nicotine or do something. Nothing will be right. I won't be able to just sit and relax and go because there won't be any nicotine. But if there's nicotine, yeah, everything will just roll along, and I'll go into a comfort state where my body will be at peace and relaxed, and it won't be in my way. My thoughts can freely roam, and I won't be beset by any angst or worry or sense of unsettledness or uneasiness. And these are all sensations that we're all familiar with. I shouldn't have to explain any of this. The little subtle and not so subtle ways in which our state of being it migrates through this time. I mean, it's a little chilly, right? And so some of the air's getting, I'm not wearing a t-shirt, so it's a little cold. And so that's creating a little bit of a disquiet in me, sensually. Certainly it's bearable. It's not, hostile in some big way. But it's there. And these little things, add up and they multiply. It's like getting old. All the little miseries, little irritations, both physical and psychological, in the sense that you've been there and done that. And so everything gets a little samey and a little grindy, and you sort of catch on to the game that your brain is playing with you. I want it, and then you know that once you get it, you're still going to need it later, and it's not really, it's like this stupid circle-y thing, and you're not really going anywhere. You're just spinning in a circle, chasing a piece that you can't maintain for any length of time. So this is the condition, the sensual organism's condition, and I'm making the simple statement that this is what we're playing for. This is the game we're in. The stakes are what's called comfort, and we're negotiating with the world and in a sense with our own brain, in the sense that we learn tricks to play the game more efficiently. You learn the trick of quelling enthusiasm, because you've been burned a few times, where you fall in love and a couple of days later she breaks your heart and blah blah blah. So you try not to fall too hard too quick. These little tricks you learn psychologically, that make it capable for you personally to interact with the world and somehow mitigate against being a big loser. Try to limit your losses at the game table. But the other game to it is that all the other players are playing too, and there's no way to separate yourself from their risk and their reward. What you do will enhance or change their destiny. How you interact with them will change what cards they draw. It's just a fact. And not everybody can get the 4 aces. If you got them, then no one else is going to get any. It's just the truth. And that's kind of the resource game we're playing with each other. And that's the real game. It's a real game being played. And I'm just arguing that the stake is real. That this money, this commodity we're exchanging, this comfort, is real. It's a substantive thing. It's not meaningless. It makes a difference. Comfort and discomfort are not equal each other. It's not D equals C squared or something. Discomfort is not the same as comfort. They're not in any way equivalent. They're in every way unequivalent. They're distinctly and profoundly different states of being. And it's a completely different in this value sense. That's the only sense that means anything, is that they're different in a value sense, than a positive, negative sense, in a good, bad sense, not in any other sense. They're different in the most important way something can be different. And to have to argue that to creatures who are sentient, who do have these sensations, presumably, like I said, maybe I'm the only person that's really conscious. Maybe for other people, they can't really tell the difference between, having cancer and not having cancer. All the same to me. I just don't like going to hospitals. It's not that there's something unpleasant that'll happen there. I just don't like hospitals. I don't know. To me, this is insane as a conversation, as a starting point, to have to go all the way back to this point and argue something as basic as this, that the fundamental feature of existence, the big mo of existence, the big of existence, is consciousness. Without it, existence doesn't mean anything. Without the sensate function, there's nothing. It's rocks that are moving. Who cares? Jumping rocks? Who cares? Stalagmite? Who cares? How could you possibly mean anything? It doesn't mean anything. Feeling. There's something happening there. Very different than a stalagmite. And conceding or recognizing that basic, simple fact doesn't seem to be like that's asking too much of people as philosophers to acknowledge that sentience is a real phenomenon and it has a catch to it, a circumstantial property to it that is significant. So anyway, I think that'll be enough. So till the next time and such, about my little chores and whatnot. Maybe take a swim. It's kind of cold, but what the hell. See what happens. Till next time.